Because in the helping profession, there is a belief that's holding us back, that we can't change how the therapists make money. That therapy and helping can only happen in one room with one client for 1 hour at one time. Hi, friend. Welcome to the Scaling Therapy Practice. I'm James Marland, your course creation coach. I'm here to help therapists who want to scale their reach with effective online courses. I'll share with you all the tools, tips, and technology I've learned along the way that will help you put your mission in motion. The world is waiting for somebody like you to take action. Let me help you take your first steps.
Hey, Scaling Therapy Practice fans, it's Danny Iny from Mirasee, where I teach coaches, consultants, and experts to monetize their gifts. Check out episode 113 of this podcast, where I teach how to make your course an obvious yes. You're listening to the Scaling Therapy Practice podcast. Now, here's your host, James Marland.
Hello, friends. It's James Marland. I wanted to thank Danny Iny for being such a great guest on the show. You just heard him in the opening. I want to tell you a little bit about Danny. He helps businesses and business owners monetize their experience. He has a wealth of information to share. So if you've ever felt like it's been hard to sell or you're doing all the right things, but nothing's really working, I want you to check out one of Danny's programs that he's offering right now. He's going to break down exactly how to build an offer that actually connects and sells without needing a huge list, fancy funnels, or fancy tools. It's the Monetize Me program. It's 6 weeks of high support to help you launch something both profitable and meaningful. Just go to the link in the show notes on Monetize Me and check out his program. Enrollment ends soon, May 22nd, so don't wait too long. Check it out, the Monetize Me program in the show notes. Today's episode 116 of the Scaling Therapy Practice. This is the show where we empower mission-driven leaders to launch life-changing online courses. Today's episode is Beliefs That Lead to Burnout. This is part 2 of our series that we're calling How Therapists Can Build What's Next Without Burning Out or Starting Over. I'm going to tell you a story about middle school for me, and it starts with me on a wooden stump in the middle of the forest. And I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with probably 20 or so other kids, 6th grade, I think. I don't exactly remember what grade we were, but I do remember that we just couldn't fit. We could not fit on the stump. It wasn't big enough. We're packed together, our arms out for balance, toes overlapping. Some people are laughing. Some don't know what to do. We're trying not to fall off. And we're failing. We are not able to stay on this stump, and we just keep falling off over and over and over again. Why are we doing this? It's one of those low rope course challenges. It was part of our school fall trip, and I remember it was actually the perfect day for this type of activity. Sunny, cool. The kids were full of energy. I was full of energy because I wasn't in the classroom doing book work. There are no tests, no textbooks, just puzzles and moving around outside. And I love that. It was my kind of day. See, solving problems came easy for me. I wasn't the top of the class as far as grades, but I was usually very quick to figure things out. So when we started the challenge, I kind of stepped up and was trying to guide people on how to do it. But as we kept doing it, it just wasn't working. Everything we tried just wasn't working. People were falling off. We were stepping on each other's toes. It just felt impossible. And eventually I just blurted out, "This is impossible. We're never going to be able to do this." And bam, right then the instructor stepped in, and he didn't encourage us. He didn't redirect us. He didn't even offer us a clue or say, "Oh, just try it one more time." He said, "Okay, we're over." And we stopped. And I was just dumbfounded. I was just confused. And then he kind of added something that I've never forgotten. It's still in my heart today. And he said something like, when someone believes it can't be done, it can't be done. That just hit harder than I expected, because I wasn't just stating how I felt. I had shut down the whole thing. I hadn't just impacted my experience. I impacted with one sentence. I shut down the whole activity. I ruined the fun for everybody, even though I knew, they wouldn't have given us this challenge if they didn't figure out we could do it. But I just stopped everybody with my negative comments. Just by giving up and saying it's impossible, we stopped. And that moment taught me something that still shapes how I lead and how I think and how I show up today. Belief is contagious. Negativity is contagious. And when you stop believing, you're not just quitting, you're giving others permission to quit too. And before that day, I thought really if I couldn't solve it, no one else could. But now I know that sometimes the answers come after the frustration, the answers come after the falling, and the answers come after you say to yourself, well, I don't know how to do this. So that's what I want to carry forward to today in today's conversation about belief. Because in the helping profession, there is a belief that's holding us back, that we can't change how the therapists make money, that therapy and helping can only happen in one room with one client for 1 hour at one time. And that model works. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that model, and it served people well. But just like that stump, it has limits. It works until it doesn't. And everything seems impossible until someone believes that maybe there's a different way to offer services and help. So let's get into that. I have another story that maybe you can relate to. Have you ever scheduled an appointment for somebody and planned your day around it and then have them completely ghost you? I had that appointment just the other day. It was a Friday to make it worse. I had made space for the appointment. I rearranged my morning. I said no to other work that was coming up to make sure I was in front of my computer and ready. I did some research and planning, and I was like super ready for this appointment, fully present, ready to serve. And then I waited and I waited and I waited and I sent an email and they didn't show. They didn't send me an email. They didn't reschedule. There was just nothing. And the worst part about this was that time is gone. Totally 100% gone. I couldn't reuse it. I couldn't offer it to somebody else. I couldn't get paid for it. It was just poof, gone. And I thought to myself, this is what my therapist friends go through all the time. They plan their day around their clients, and when their clients show up, they make money. But when their clients don't show up, they don't make money. Worse yet, if they have to get sick or go on vacation or take care of family responsibilities, they can't get money. One room, one client, 1 hour. If everything lines up perfectly, you get paid. If it doesn't line up, you don't get paid. It's just wasted and gone. So today we're going to continue to carry the conversation, because in episode 115, we learned about how being fully booked does not mean you're free. But today we're going to learn that your schedule is not your only limiting factor in your freedom. It's also your location. Most therapists are trained for the room, but the world has really changed. You were trained to become a counselor, and your training was one person, one therapy session at a time. You've got the couch, the clipboard, the fluorescent lights. Maybe there's a clock on the wall, a tissue box on the table. And that's how many therapists and helpers were taught on how to help people. And I don't want to say that's wrong. In fact, it's a very good model. The room has its own kind of sacredness. And for those of you who love to practice, that model, and it's working for you, and you're fulfilled, and you're not hitting the energy limits or the time limits, and you don't mind the freedom limitation, please keep doing that. The world needs you. But there is a problem with that model that we need to be aware of. That model assumes just something very specific, that both people are in the same place at the same time every single time. There's a lot of coordination that goes into getting those scheduling correctly. And then when that model breaks down, there's different things that impact that model. When somebody moves or can't get off work, or they live in a rural area, or maybe just like that no-show, like I shared earlier, that whole structure falls apart, even when one of those pieces is uh, faulty or out of alignment. And the big loser in this situation when one of those pieces falls apart is the therapist. They can't get their time back. It's spoiled. You know this. Over the last couple years, the world is changing. Clients are showing up differently, and most of that happens online or with cell phones or video conferencing. And they're also searching for support in different ways, in different formats. They want flexibility. They want help that's not tied to a schedule. They want on-demand help and support. So what are they doing? They're listening to podcasts. They're signing up for self-help programs. They're downloading mini courses. They're joining coaching groups. Not because they don't value what you offer. Let me make that clear. They value highly what you're offering, but they need to have more or different kinds of access to the support we provide. And the world, is moving to more individualistic on-demand service as well. Just think of your Netflix account or your Prime account. When I was growing up, you had 4 channels, and if you didn't like what was on, you did something else. Today, if you don't like what's on, you go to YouTube, or you go to another instant gratification media service. And the world is just moving that way. So there's a little disconnect here, or a problem, because you were trained for the room, but the world is training for on-demand service. So what do we do? What can we do, to offer services beyond the room? This isn't about abandoning helping people or becoming a marketer or a salesperson. It's really about expanding your services and creating something that can meet the needs of people beyond the room. Because your ability to help, your expert ability, the things you can do, shouldn't be limited by whether or not somebody can sit on a couch in front of you on a 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. The people that you're most equipped to serve, the ones that your story and skill set and experience were perfectly designed to make for, they might be 2 states away or time zones away, or they might be awake at 2 a.m. looking for your exact support when you're not in your office and your lights are dark. The traditional model of therapy is locked behind the 4 walls. And even with Zoom, like, it's locked behind when you can get in front of the computer. There's lines that divide the people from their services: driving distance, state lines, availability. And if they can't make it to you inside your zip code or your hours, the people that you can help the most, that you would love to help, miss out. Now, I've seen this play out in my own family. I actually have an adopted sister. She's still a teenager, and she has specific needs. They're not rare. It's not like nobody's had these mental health needs before. It's just they're specific. And my parents did the best that they could, looking for therapy services, going through insurance, getting referrals from their church. They tried, and they tried hard. They drove, they called around, they tried several services, they got on waiting lists. They did everything they could to find the right service that was close to home, but it just didn't work. The one of the services they tried for over a year said, "This is beyond us." Like, they tried, my parents tried, Everybody tried, but the exact person who could solve this problem, it wasn't easy or obvious for my parents to get it. So the result is just people suffered. Like my sister suffered probably the most. She didn't get the help she needed. My parents suffered emotional pain. The whole extended family suffered, all because the right clinician wasn't easy to find or in the right location or took the right insurance. I'm just imagining, what if they were able to find the right person at the right time who knew exactly how to help them and give them the advice and help they needed right where they were. Not because they were in the right community or had the right insurance, but they matched up with the ideal client, with the ideal service provider. So when we think about this problem of location, you're losing the chance to serve the people you're most aligned to help just because they don't live nearby. Helpers are solving human problems, not just the ones local to you. So, what if the help you're meant to give could reach the people who need it the most, even if they're not right in front of you? I want to share something controversial to you. Some of you are going to get this right away, and some of you are going to fight it, but you can make an impact without a room. Maybe say this out loud. You don't need a therapist office to make a real difference. You don't need to be in the building. You don't need to be across from somebody in the couch. You don't even need to live on Zoom 24/7. You just need a message and a method and a way to deliver it that doesn't disappear when the location and the time doesn't work out or when you log off for the day. Things are changing, and let me just give you a metaphor I love. I grew up on maps, paper maps, simple, helpful. They get you from where you need to go. If you're following it closely, uh, it's great. One car, one trip, one route. Maps are great. But what if you have one map and you need to go to several different destinations? That's why I love GPS. GPS, the tool of GPS, not just the GPS that is on your phone, but the GPS that is on everybody's phone. It really just changed the game. It gives the same types of directions, same guidance, but it's accessible to everyone at any hour of the day, any driver, any road, any country, all at the same time. It updates, it adapts, it reaches people that you've never really even met. They don't have to share your map. They share GPS. And this is what happens when you package your experience into a course. It's not just a map, it's a GPS, a guide or a product that anyone at any time can use. It's the same insight, just a new format. It's packaged in a different way. Way more impactful, can reach way more people. And that's what it's like for believing that the only model is the one-to-one model, that there's no way, it's impossible to expand your reach beyond the one-to-one model. Just like the Stump problem, I just couldn't see how this challenge could be solved. There was just no way to do it. But there's no way to do it until you see other people doing it, and then the solution becomes easy and obvious. Everything doesn't work until it does. It seems impossible until somebody actually does it. So, in summary, you were trained on one model, a great model, a model that works and serves many people. If you love that model, don't stop that model. But just realize you might not be able to help people who don't fit into that model, who are looking for services at different times or on demand. You can continue showing up faithfully, one client at a time, but that also limits your wisdom and how you help people. You don't have to stop doing what you love. Please, the world needs you. Keep doing what you love. But you can start thinking about it differently. You can start thinking, maybe there is a different way to package my services up. So if this episode stirred something in you, if it made you wonder what your work could look like beyond one room or one client or 1 hour, I want to give you a simple next step. It's the free guide I offer, 15 ways to package your experience into a coaching product. Maybe this is the nudge you need to figure out problems you can solve and ways to package it into a product. So inside that, you're going to find real, doable ways to turn your insight into something that lasts. Some of these are just something you can make in an afternoon and put it on your website and see what happens. Do people use it and download it? Just little tiny tests like email courses, downloadables, mini courses. They're just ideas. They're formats that have worked for other people to free up their time and extend your impact. So grab your copy now at courses.coursecreationstudio.com/store and get your resource. And if you're ready to take another step, like you either have the resource or you're like, you know what, I have a course in my head, but I just need some help getting it out. I have room for 7 more people in the summer and fall step group cohort. That's where I walk 10 students through the 8 milestones of creating a system that produces income from your experience. You don't have to quit therapy. You don't have to quit what you love, but you can start using a different model to package up what you're doing so that other people can use it at just the right time. This has been a wonderful episode for me. Believe that you are destined to help a lot of people and people that might not even live in your zip code. Let's put your mission in motion.